Beauties, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. My name is Winnie, and in today's video we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful underbust corset dress. It is very easy to make. Trust me, I've already made it simple for us to understand, and the fit was so nice when it was done, and it looked really beautiful. So watch till the end and drop your questions in the comment section down below. So without too much talking, let's get straight to the honey of the video. Let's go. I love you. Hey beauty, welcome to my channel. First, we are going to be starting with the pattern drafting, and I'm going to use my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 4 inches to determine my block. I folded my pattern paper into 2, but later on I realized that it wasn't needed. You can use your single paper just as we normally do. It's still the same thing. The other side is going to just waste. Alright, so now I used my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 4 inches to create the width of my fabric, or my paper, sorry, and then I measured out my half length measurements plus 1.5 inches, all right, which is serving as my waist. You know it is a gown, so you are going to measure from the shoulder to the waistline, so which is what I marked, and I drew a straight line across. So the straight line I'm drawing now was calculated by dividing my bust into 4 and adding 4 inches allowance. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my bust point measurement. So the bust point of this client was 10 inches. I added half inch to that. Don't forget, I like to add all my allowances to paper so that by the time we are sewing, we will not be needing to be adding any allowance again. So after marking my bust point, I went ahead to mark my under bust, and I also added half inch to that. Alright, so the next thing I'm doing next is to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus half inch, and then I went ahead to also mark my armhole depth that I created. If you don't know how to calculate your armhole depth, let me know in the comment section so that I can do a tutorial on that. So that armhole depth is also going to serve as my chest line, so that is why I extended the line across. Alright, so after that I took my shoulder slope of 1 inch, and I went ahead to mark the midpoint of my armhole depth. From that midpoint I came out by half inch, and then I'm using my pattern master to connect all those points together to create my armhole curve. So for my neck width, I went inwards by 3 inches for my neck width, so, and then I connected that into my shoulder slope. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to create our dart. So to create our dart, we are going to measure your bust span measurement divided by 2. Your bust span is your nipple to nipple, so you divide that by 2 and then connect that into a straight line. And then on the waistline, I took half inch on both sides and I connected that to the bust point measurement. So now the neck depth I'm working with is 7.5 inches because it is a V neckline. I don't want it to be showing the bust too much, so I just went down by 7.5 inches and I connected that to my neck width. Alright, so we are almost done with the pattern. So the next thing is to shape the pattern. So I'm going to place my tape and measure my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches extra allowance, and then I'm going to mark that. And then on my waist, I measured my waist divided by 4 also. I first marked the first line up to the first dart leg, then I jumped that and continued my measurement from the second dart leg, and then I marked my waistline measurement plus my 2 inches allowance. So once that was done, I went ahead to connect those lines with my pattern master like so. So once that is done, the next thing we are going to do is to create our underbust corset now. So from the chest line, I just went downwards by half inch, and after that I am going to be creating a kind of curve that is going to sit on my underbust line. So it's going to sit on my underbust line, so I'm using my pattern master to create that curve. And as you can see, we are already done with this underbust corset. It's as simple as that, trust me. It is so simple, and if you just follow what I've told you, you are going to get a perfect finish, trust me. So once all of this is done, the next thing is to cut it out. Yay! So now we are cutting. If you are new to my channel, you are welcome to the channel of beautiful people. On here we do everything DIY on garment making, from beading tutorials to children's wears to anything that concerns sewing, that concerns garment making. That is what we do on here. So if this is what you love, please subscribe before you go. Help me like my videos, drop comments. Likes are not enough. Help me drop comments in the comment section. Let me know that this video was helpful. Drop your questions, because I love to hear from you. That is what makes me know that my tutorials are relevant. Please, and God bless you as you do so. And it also helps my videos to be pushed to a wider audience by the algorithm. So please help a sister. Thank you. I hope you were also watching how I cut all these things. You were not just listening to me alone. You watch it. You have to be very careful when you are cutting, so you don't cut the wrong parts. All right. So this is the underbust, the round underbust corset part, and that's this is that down part, the center part where the underbust is going to sit, and that is the upper part, which is the yoke. Actually, I was not meant to cut the yoke away from the curved part. I made that mistake, so I'm going to be taping it back. And for this center, I've already cut out the darts open, all right? But I don't want it to have any darts, because it's going to make my life easier if it doesn't have a dart by the time I'm sewing this. So I went ahead to tape it together. I've cut off the dart, so I just joined it together and just taped it together. Make sure it's not overlapping, just join it together. Make sure it is kissing each other, and then you can now tape it. And then for the part that is curved and the yoke part also, I was not supposed to cut it out, so I'm going to also tape that down before we go ahead and continue. So what I'm doing now is that I'm taping down the center part, and then for this yoke part also, I was not supposed to separate the yoke from the underbust corset thinking. All right, so what I did was that I am going to tape it down also. So I'm just using my transparent tape. I would advise that you use a transparent tape if you draft a pattern and you're trying to tape it down. It will make you to see every other thing that you've done before. If you, unlike when you use a paper tape, it will just cover everything up and you will not know what you did again. All right, so I'm just trying to tape it down now. In case you are seeing any other hand aside mine, that is my student's hand. Don't be scared, I don't have 4 hands. All right, it's my student's hand, so she was just trying to help me here and there, and she was just trying to be helpful. All right, and while she was learning too. So I've gone ahead to tape it down. So this is what I'm going to be using to cut out my fabric. You guys, the fabric I worked with for this dress was so stressful. So for the shoulder part, I'm just going to mark out the midpoint of the shoulder. This is because we are going to be creating a slash and spread. Then at that midpoint, I'm going to just connect it to my dart leg. All right, just like that, and then we are going to cut it out. All right, make sure that you don't cut the whole paper, although as time goes on the paper cuts by itself, but if you don't cut it to the end too tiny, the paper is not going to cut by itself. All right, so at this point the paper already cut by itself, so I had to use something to hold it down. I've already cut out that center part, and then I slashed this by about 5 inches. All right, so after slashing it like that, I went ahead to cut it out. You guys, let me just use the fabric that I used to make this tie. I don't know where they brought that fabric from. It was so stressful to work with. It was just slippery. Like, may fabric no sit down for one place, may you put fabric for one place, may you no sit down. Like, I don't understand. This fabric was so slippery. In fact, when I was sewing it, I was just praying to God, just let this cup pass over me. But thank God I was able to finish it. So that's just the gist though. So I'm done cutting now. So the next thing is to cut out my neckline, and then I am going to pin everything down. I was working with pins all throughout working on this project, because if you don't pin this dress, God will not let shame. God no go shame us. Like if everything just scatter. So I had to just pin everything down, and then I am going to cut out the lining. Alright, so you just place this fabric on top of the lining and cut the exact same thing on the lining, which I've already done here. I've already cut out the lining for that center part also. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to set the other part aside, and let's work on this underbust corset part. So I'm opening it up like this. I'm going to place my lining on top of it, right side facing right side, and then I am going to stitch the neckline first. So after stitching the neckline, you place notches, flip it over, and stitch the downside. You don't have to close the downside. All right, I'll teach you how to close it much later. You stitch the down part, and then you now take that middle center part, and then you notch the center. So by the time you notch the center, you are now going to, it's very tiny, just fold it together and just notch the center. Then you are now going to match up the underbust area with the center of that mid part. All right, hold it down with pins, and once that is done, you are going to now match up the down part together and pleat the excess to fit into the cup area that we created. All right, so this is it. You are just going to match it up and pleat in the excess to fit into the cup area. So I'm going to do that off camera, which I've already done here. So I'm gonna head to match it up. See how beautiful it's looking already. It has already formed this time. Like so, and it was looking really, really beautiful. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to flip it over to the wrong side, and then I am going to take my lining, the lining for the down part. I'm going to use it to cover the part that was the rough part. So this is the lining for let me pick up the lining for the down part. You see how neat everything is inside at first. So you are going to pick the lining for the down part, so you cover that place, this side that we just sewed. So this is the lining for the down part. You just flip it over like this and sew it at the top like that. Just carefully sew it. You don't have to rush, because if you rush this thing, God will not let shame catch us. God no go shame us. So I've gone ahead to stitch it, and by the time I flipped it over, everything was looking neat. So that place did not really stitch very well. I'm going to use my needle and thread to knitting it up. So once that is done, I'm just trying to pull everything, make sure that everything is aligned. When you are sewing, you need to use your hand. Always cultivate that habit. Use your hand to arrange it. See what you are doing. Don't just be sewing like just sewing like that. You have to arrange it, check it out, check where there is mistakes, because by the time you continue and you are almost done and you now see that you have mistake, it will be too late. So check everything. And then I went ahead to take my back part. This back part, I cut it off camera, so it's just a normal back. So I've already joined my shoulder, and then I joined the sides with the allowance that I left. So what I'm doing here is just to remove the pins at the zip side that I used earlier to hold it. So the next thing is to attach the down part. So I did this off camera also. I've already sewn the down part. I've already attached my lining, my darts. I've almost finished it. So the next thing is just to join it to the other part, which I've done here. If you don't know how to do a skirt, you can let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make a skirt. So I'm going to join the upper part with the down part now. So what I'm doing is that the side of the upper part and the side of the skirt part, you are supposed to align it together. Hold it down with your pin, the two sides of the upper part and the down part, align it together, hold it down with your pin before you go ahead and stitch every other place together. It will make your fabric sit well. One will not be longer than the other, it will not be shaking anyhow. And so this is it. So I'm going to attach my zipper and my sleeve, and then when I was done, this is the final look. It was so beautiful, trust me. Everything was neatly done and it sat well on the body. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a like. Till I see you in the next one, I want you to know that I love you and I care. Bye.